My man, this is a pretty decent salary. You won't get a better offer anywhere else. Illinois, you do a good job, I might even give you a bonus. Terrence jibed. You're lucky that Terrence is offering you this position as his chauffeur, Dustin. You'll regret it if you pass on this opportunity, Julie said proudly. That's right. Terrence is the manager of Brooks Corporation, and he has a bright future ahead. You'll get a lot of extra perks working for him. What's there to not like about it? Victoria echoed. Is Brooks Corporation that big of a deal? Dustin still wasn't convinced. You don't know Brooks Corporation? It's a huge enterprise worth over hundreds of billions. You'll live a life of luxury if you're even the least bit affiliated with it. Victoria scorned. He truly was a country bumpkin who knew nothing. I'm sorry, I've never heard of it before. Dustin shook his head yet again. He didn't know much about the business sector in Millsburg. All right, so you've never heard of Brooks Corporation. But how about Big Bucks Brooks? Surely you've heard of him? He's renowned in the whole of Balerno. Terrence smirked. Big Bucks Brooks? Dustin raised his brows. Of course, I know him. Great. Well, Brooks Corporation is one of Big Bucks Brooks' businesses, and I work for him, Terrence declared self-importantly. Oh. So you work for Roderick? What coincidence. Dustin chuckled. What do you mean? Do you know him? Terrence's eyes narrowed. Of course I do. He used to seek medical help from me. Dustin nodded. Seek your help? Terrence sniggered. You're quite a liar, aren't you, my man? Have you even got any idea how influential Big Bucks Brooks is? How could he possibly go to an unqualified medical practitioner like you for help? Exactly. There are reputable doctors everywhere here in Millsburg. Why would he seek medical help from you, of all people, when he can go to them? Who do you think you are? Julie said with contempt. Hey, Rhys, quit acting all important when you haven't even gone through proper medical training. How disgusting. Florence frowned. Since Dahlia was the one who invited him over, she felt embarrassed now that he was ousted as a liar. You don't believe me? Well, how about I give Roderick a call now? Dustin proposed. Sure. Go on, call him. I'd like to see for myself just how well connected you are. Terrence laughed maliciously. Even as manager of Brooks Corporation, he didn't have Big Bucks Brooks' number. How could this punk be acquainted with him? How ridiculous. Yeah, go on. I'd be impressed if you actually got a hold of him, Jull sneered. Okay. Without wasting any time, Dustin pulled out his phone and made a call to Roderick Brooks. But after quite some time, the call still didn't get through. What's wrong? Is he not picking up? Haha. Well, carry on then, Terrence joked sarcastically. He was sure that Dustin was just putting on a show. Hey, are you done yet? Everyone can tell that you're taking it. Are you really going to carry on with the act? Julie asked condescendingly. Ha. What an embarrassment. Florence was very much annoyed. Forget it. Dustin. Let's eat. Dahlia saw that things weren't going well for him, so she quickly attempted to help him out of the awkward situation. Everyone knew Big Bucks Brooks. He single-handedly controlled Millsburg's economy, so he definitely wasn't someone who just anyone could establish a connection with. It got through. Just as everyone held Dustin contemptuously, Roderick finally picked up his call. Oh, the call got through? Here, let me hear what he has to say. Terrence teased nastily and snatched the phone right out of Dustin's hand before putting the call on speaker mode so that everyone could hear the conversation. Hello, who is this? Are you Big Bucks Brooks? Hey, Mr. Brooks, I'd just like to know, are you planning on playing along with the act too? He asked derisively. Hey, you're not Mr. Rhys. Who are you? Roderick asked. Me. Ha ha ha. I'm Terrence Stone, manager of Brooks Corporation. You're pretending to be Roderick Brooks, aren't you? Well, I'd like to see you try. Terrence scoffed. Terrence Stone, right? Very well. I'll remember you. So what? What can you do to me? Terrence taunted, unaware of the impending trouble he had brought upon himself. I'm Roderick Brooks, and you work for me. What do you think I can do to you? Roderick asked coldly. Still keeping up the act, I see. Do you think I'd really buy this crap you're spouting? Terrence snorted. Terrence Stone, I'm officially informing you that you have been fired by Brooks Corporation, effective today. You need not come to work tomorrow. Roderick wasted no time in making the decision. Ha ha ha. You're firing me? You're something else, aren't you? Terrence guffawed. Truth be told, I have a powerful person backing me up in Brooks Corporation. Even Roderick Brooks is in no position to fire me, much less an imposter like you. Is that so? Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten me who the person backing you up might be? Roderick asked sternly. If someone like this was the manager, it was high time Brooks Corporation had a restructuring. You have no business finding out who the person is. All you need to know is that you'll be sorry if you ever mess with me, Terrence expressed conceitedly. How insolent. Roderick huffed. I don't want to waste my time speaking to you. Pass the phone to Mr. Rhys. What's the matter? Can't hold up the act any longer? You're no fun. Terrence then tossed the phone back to Dustin and ridiculed, My man, this you found yourself is pretty incompetent at what he does. He lacks he necessary charisma. I say he needs to go back and brush up on his skill is. Actor. Dustin stifled a laugh. I wasn't lying, he really is Roderick Brooks. Heh. If he's Roderick Brooks, then I'm Roderick Brooks' father, Terrence said without giving it much thought. Dustin simply found him amusing. Terrence was quite a stubborn one. Dustin had already reminded him multiple times that it was really Roderick Brooks he was speaking with, and yet he took no heed and continued to speak with such arrogance. He'd be in for a lock time when he went to work the next day. Mr. Rhys, do you know this person? Roderick suppressed his anger. I don't know him well. This is my first time meeting him, Dustin said with a chuckle. That's good to know. Roderick heaved a sigh of relief. If Dustin were on close terms with Terrence, then he wouldn't act rashly. But since they weren't, he could handle things his way. All right, Mr. Brooks, I'll leave you to carry on with your day then. I'll contact you some other time. Dustin quickly ended the call. His intention had just been to give Terrence a warning so that he didn't behave so arrogantly. Who'd have known that he was so foolhardy and went so far as to insult his boss like that? Your act's been busted, my man. Is there any point keeping it going? Terrence looked down his nose at Dustin, wearing a wise and discerning expression as if he had seen through Dustin's lie. I think he's the only one fooled by his act. Some people really know no shame. Julie shook her head, looking at Dustin like he was nothing but a clown. What's the meaning of all this, Florence? How could you bring a scammer to our table? Are you insulting us? Victoria was upset. Dustin, can you please cut your bullshit? Are you not ashamed of yourself? Because I am. Florence shot daggers at him out of her eyes. Why did he have to act like he was all that when they were just having a meal? And what's worse was that his lie got busted. It was downright embarrassing. There's no point saying anything more. You'll find out the truth tomorrow. Dustin gave a faint smile, not bothering to explain further. He knew that no matter what he said, these people weren't going to believe him. Quick. This is the place. I saw him go in. Right then, a commotion broke out at the door. They looked up and saw an obese man with a bunch of henchmen coming in menacingly. The person taking the lead was none other than Duncan Doyle, who had had a run-in with Dustin in a bar a few days back. Here he is. Duncan's eyes swept across the diner, and he quickly spotted Dustin. With his henchman in tow, he stormed up to him.